All right, so I am republishing this video about the Lanterns TV show on HBO Max because I don't know, I had all these crazy PC problems yesterday. I started working late. I worked late on this video, and I was using some different recording configurations, but I was also having a weird problems with my Windows installation, and I had to repair my C drive and I don't know. I'd been messing with the memory a little bit, trying to get timings different, but that seemed to work. My mem test was all fine and everything. So something happened, and then there was all this like audio glitching in the video after it rendered. It was working fine when I actually made the video, but then after it rendered, it was not working. So I'm hoping that now I've remade the video, and it seems to be working. And I'm gonna check it after I should have checked it, but it was like midnight last night, and I was just like, "Oh fuck this, publish." It's fine. It's going to be fine. What could go wrong? The one time I actually like don't double check my work. Of course, something goes wrong. So, anyways, yes, this is a republished version of the same video I already published about lanterns. I hope you enjoy it, and I'll have some other stuff out soon. So, all right, here we go. Lanterns is the new Green Lantern show on HBO and HBO Max. It's got Kyle Chandler as Hal Jordan and Aaron Pierre as John Stewart, not to be confused with the other John Stewart. And it's like a mystery show. The Green Lanterns, okay, right off the bat, I am not a huge Green Lantern fan. I did not read the Green Lantern comic books. I didn't watch the Green Lantern movies with Ryan Reynolds. I know very little about Green Lanterns. So don't expect this review to be like Nerd Central, like I know everything about Green Lanterns and I'm going to be talking about this show based on how accurate it is or whatever, because that's not where I'm coming from. But a Green Lantern is basically assigned to a planet to be like the guardian of this planet from the Green Lantern Corps. And that's like an intergalactic organization when they hand out these rings and there's these alien technology rings, magic rings of power. You can use your thoughts to create stuff with them. You can make, like in the show, in the first episode, Hal makes a $20 bill and puts it into the jukebox machine, but you can also make, at one point he jumps out of the car and the car is going to crash, and John has to save himself and by putting on the ring, and what he does is he conjures bubble wrap all around himself, which is fairly clever, I suppose. But you can also do other things like fly, and there's basically, okay, so I'm getting ahead of myself, but basically in the show, John is a sidekick, a trainee for Hal. Hal is the Green Lantern of Earth. How he got his ring, how all that happened is part of the mystery, part of the backstory that we don't know everything about. There's clearly stuff going on that we don't know about. And John and Hal have very different personalities. Hal is kind of cynical and jaded and kind of funny and kind of like a maverick, if you will. John is more of a straight-laced, strong and silent type, and they just don't get along. So it's that sort of buddy cop genre where the two personalities clash, and we'll get to that a little bit more in a second. But basically, like just to get through the premise of this series really quickly, and then we'll get on to some other stuff. There is a warning. A backup of Hal comes out of the ring and tells John while he has the ring that it is hailing in Rushville, Nebraska. And this is some kind of code, which when he tells Hal a little bit later, Hal flies off and rushes over there. And John follows him to Nebraska, where there's been a mass shooting at a football game. And the particulars of what exactly happened are unknown, but they apprehend a suspect who Hal is convinced is an alien, but the local sheriff says, you're asking the wrong fucking questions. You're in the night country now. Sorry, no, that I'm getting my shows mixed up, but for a good reason, which I'll get to in a minute. No, Kelly MacDonald plays Carrie Kane is the name of the sheriff. Carrie Macon, Macon, I don't know, is her married name, but her maiden name is Carrie Kane, which is weird because that's my mom's name. My mom's name is Carrie, spelled the same way, Kerry, but Kane is spelled different. It's Kane in the show, and it's Kain if you're me, which I think is the evil way of spelling that name, like the evil Cain, like Legacy of Cain or Cain and Abel, bad guys like me. Anyways, sheriff and Hal butt heads. He wants to talk to the suspect. She won't let him because he's not really part of any actual government organization. He's just like the Green Lantern, and he's kind of a burnout, and I guess people don't take him as seriously anymore. This takes place over different timelines. So we see like 1996 when John is a boy and he's watching a program about the Green Lantern, and he's like clearly obsessed with Hal Jordan and being a Green Lantern. And then his dad gets home, and I guess they're not supposed to be watching TV, so he takes him outside and shoots an apple off the top of his head like William Tell with his military issue pistol. It's a really weird scene. I'm sorry, maybe I'm just missing something with the lore of all of this, but anyways, then we move to 2016 when John is all grown up, but a young man still, and under the wing of Hal, and that's when this incident takes place. And then in the end of the episode, we move to 2026 when John returns to this town, but we're getting ahead of ourselves. We have other ground to cover because in 2016 they investigate. They got Hal gets in a bar fight so that he can get arrested and try to talk to this guy he suspects is an alien in the jail, but the sheriff prevents him from doing that, and then he's bailed out by a rich guy, this rich rancher named William Macon, the sheriff's father-in-law. Played by Garrett Dillahunt. Garrett Dillahunt is an awesome dude. Full disclosure, me and Garrett I like to consider him a pal. When I was writing about Fear the Walking Dead, me and Garrett kind of ended up having a bit of a conversation, several conversations about that show which he was in, and I just think he's a really swell guy, and he plays clearly he's probably a bad guy. He plays a bad guy in a lot of stuff, which is funny because he's just a sweet man. But anyways, he is this rancher that runs like a militia or something, but apparently he's just like the guy that runs it, but he's not in charge, and he can't say who his boss is. So that's part of the mystery. So there's lots of mystery, but the guy that was apprehended does turn out to be an alien. And when Hal's questioning him, it becomes apparent that he really is an alien, and he knows all about the Green Lanterns, and then he tries to suicide bomb everybody, but Hal stops him with a Green Lantern like shield, because the Green Lantern rings can do anything. They're really overpowered. And then in 2026, 10 years later, we see John showing up back in Rushville, Nebraska. It's winter. It feels very Fargo-esque at this point. And he meets up with Carrie, and they go to the stadium where that shooting was, and sitting there on the same benches where Hal was before is Hal, but he's frozen to death. So he's dead in the present timeline. So it looks like the show will jump back and forth between timelines, and we will get to know different things about different characters and what the hell's going on. And I guess whatever is behind the shooting and these aliens. And so we come to many of my problems with this show. Chief among them is the expectations that were set. So this show is billed as like Green Lantern meets True Detective Season 1. The creators of the show, including Damon Lindelof, who, created Lost and The Leftovers and a lot of shows, a lot of other things. Well, The Watchmen, some good stuff, some disappointing stuff. He's got a mixed record, but a lot of the creators of the show and the people working on the show said they took inspiration from True Detective. They really wanted this to be like a True Detective superhero show. And True Detective Season 1 is like one of the greatest TV shows ever made. So that's a really high bar. And when you advertise that, you set expectations. But the other thing is that they've also mentioned shows like Slow Horses, Fargo, movies like No Country for Old Men, The Right Stuff, like all these really good movies and shows, they're like, this is what we're going for. So when you bill your show as like, the product of all these amazing television shows and movies and classics, and then you really set expectations pretty high. And I went into this thinking, well, that's how could a show about guys with alien rings that can make like, bubble wrap or whatever appear and they can fly. How could you ever really capture that True Detective vibe? And it doesn't. Not in the first episode. So I got screeners from HBO. Thank you, HBO. HBO doesn't always love me because I can be pretty critical of some of their shows, even though I think they have a lot of amazing shows too. I don't think I gushed enough about Task on this channel, but that was an amazing show. But I got 7 episodes. I don't know if I will have access to those after tonight. Like with House of the Dragon, I got a few episodes and then they took them away and gave them to me weekly again. So I got a bunch, then they got taken away and I got weekly ones for my recaps. With this show, I decided I didn't want to watch all 7 episodes. I wanted to watch them weekly. I'll watch them before they come out so I have time to make a video, so I have time to write my review at Forbes. But I don't want to know what's coming. I don't want to watch the whole season and then know what's coming, because I would like to. It's like when I was reviewing Westworld years ago. It was really fun to not know what was happening. It was fun to be like part of the whole like fan theories and all the stuff that was going on in the community. And it's fun with mysteries to not know what's coming, and to when you talk about it each week, to be able to sort of guess and theorize. So I only watched the first episode, so I cannot tell you if it gets better, although I hope it does, because this was kind of a messy start. Like, setting aside the True Detective comparison, which we will come back to, but setting that aside, this show is just kind of weird because I don't know really what the stakes are here or what the inciting incident is here in this first episode. Like typically in your premiere, if it's a mystery or something, there will be something that happens that's really clearly setting up what this story is going to be about. Even if the story then takes some twists and turns, you are getting a sense of what the story is about. And I just don't know here what that is. So, so that's weird. Like, the interactions between John and Hal are pretty good. Like, I like the buddy cop genre in general. I like the two different personalities that butt heads a lot. And, that was something in True Detective with Rust and Marty. They were very different characters and they butt heads a lot in that. But they also are kind of like the perfect partners, because ultimately it's the combination of their very different personalities and talents and intellects that saves the day. But I don't know if that will work as well here. And I don't know if the split timeline, which is something that they did to great effect in True Detective, I don't know how that will work. I don't know. It remains to be seen. But what I do know is that in the first episode of True Detective Season 1, I was absolutely enthralled and engrossed and immersed in that Southern Gothic, like crazy, dark, like you could feel it, you could smell it, like you could taste that place, that Southern, that Louisiana, like sweat, that the humidity, like came out of the TV screen, right? Like that show, it opens to interviews, but it also opens to, that field being set ablaze. And then they find that the body of Dora Lang, posed with the antler crown, posed on her knees with all, with this weird ritualistic, macabre scene. And it's just so captivating. It's so disturbing and captivating all at the same time. And then, you get by the end of the first episode of True Detective Season 1, you really have a strong sense of what is, you don't know what's going on necessarily, but you sort of understand the stakes. You understand that there is some larger mystery. There's a serial killer thing going on. There's some sort of investigation in the present timeline as to how this was handled. You have a sense of what this show is about. And with Lanterns, I just don't know. I don't really know what it's about. And that maybe that's fine. Maybe it's just going to take a little bit longer for it to get going. But I don't think they did themselves any favors by comparing it to True Detective. At the same time, it's not bad. Like I wasn't like, oh my God, the writing is so terrible. Like there's some very good back and forth and banter between some of the characters. I think that especially Hal is a very charming character. He kind of reminds me of Kurt Russell. I'm not going to lie. If this show was made 15 years ago or whatever, it could be Kurt Russell and like I can't think of his name from Independence Day. My God, I'm so bad with names sometimes. Sorry. Right before I made this video, I went to Pilates, hot Pilates and hot yoga back to back. Because I'm an exercise freak right now, and that may be affecting my memory a little. But anyways, so overall, like, I don't know. I cannot come to a verdict off this first episode. Like, it was fine. I'm not particularly excited about it. I like the actors. I like the main actors. I like Kelly MacDonald as the sheriff. Although I know she keeps trying to slip into that Scottish accent. She did the voice of Brave, of what's her face from the movie Brave, I should say, and many other things. And then I like Garrett Dillahunt. But I don't know, like what is this story? And I guess maybe that's partly just because I don't care about Green Lantern at all. That's just not, I don't know. DC under James Gunn has been a real shit show though, hasn't it? Like Peacemaker season 2, I thought was really fun. Superman was crazy mediocre. It was just like not at all what I expected from James Gunn. I thought we'd get a much more upbeat and optimistic movie, but it was actually deeply cynical. And I do believe I made a video review of Superman, but I can't remember actually now. And then I didn't even see Supergirl. I should probably see it, but I just couldn't bring myself to go to the theater. I've been to 3 movies this summer at the theater. I've been to The Odyssey. I've been to Spider-Man Brand New Day, which I still need to make a video about. I have one cooking. And I just went to The End of Oak Street, which I also have a video coming out about. And I've enjoyed every single one of those movies. And if I'm going to the theater, like I really want to enjoy the movie. So Supergirl, I could just tell this was not going to be a good movie. So I'm just gonna watch it on streaming. I don't know. Maybe it's out. Maybe I'll get it on VOD, video on demand. But that's it. I don't know. I've gone on long enough. I'm going to keep watching Lanterns. I'm going to keep reviewing Lanterns, but I am not like, this first episode did not reel me in. It did not make me think, oh shit, this is like True Detective, but in DC Comics True Detective. Like really, honestly, if you want to do True Detective, you should do something in Gotham. Like you could do something like in that whole, like Penguin was a great show. That was a great show. But something we don't have to actually have Batman be the guy, but you could have something in Gotham that was very dark with, some, there's lots of great serial killers and stuff in the Gotham like sub-universe of DC. And you could do some really cool stuff with that. But I'm not sure that Green Lantern is the right fit for this. And I didn't get the sense of place, like Rushville, Nebraska didn't give me that sense of place that I got from True Detective season 1, like right away. Rushville, Nebraska felt like any old hick town in anywhere in America, with the guys at the bar who are like, oh, you put on that music one more time, I'm going to kick your ass, you city slicking bum. And then of course they get in a fight, and it's just like, I don't know. Like I hoped that James Gunn would turn around the DC fate, because it went from the Snyderverse, which was a shit show, because Zack Snyder should be a cinematographer, not a movie director, and he shouldn't write his own movies. And then it went to like the weird years in between the Snyderverse and the James Gunn verse, where it was like, just like throw anything at the wall and see what sticks. And like a couple movies were good in that phase, but they were mostly bad. And then The Rock tried to like take over the DC universe and bring back Henry Cavill, and that got like shot to the moon. And now it's Peter Safran and James Gunn, and it's like, not good. We'll see if Clayface is any good, but it's like I don't see what the vision is here. They're having a really hard time, while MCU and Marvel is also having a really hard time. But it's very possible that, like, if Brand New Day is any indication, that Marvel might be back on the rise. And I guess a lot rests on Doomsday, because frankly, Marvel has also made a lot of really shitty movies lately. Like the Fantastic Four movie was really, really bad. So anyways, that's all I have to say about that. I'm going to also now make videos about Brand New Day and The End of Oak Street and Reacher. Reacher's back. And I've watched the first 2 episodes, but I need to watch the 3rd one, and then I'll make a video about Reacher. So let me know what you think about Lanterns so far. Maybe you're a big, huge fan of Lanterns, and I'm just missing things that if I knew more about this, I would understand better. I fully admit my ignorance here. But I don't know. It's not a lost cause. I'm still going to watch. I'm just now like, oh my God, it's like True Detective season 1. No, but at least it's not like Night Country. All right, peace.
I got the badge in his left hand. John got the plan in the right hand. Sirens in the sky, not the cop car. Green lights falling from a black star. One weird call from the county line. Said, little gray man just crossed the pine. Hal said, cool. Grab the cuffs and the bean. John said, man, it's too weird to be your dream. They hit the road in a rust brown van with the busted radio and the shake in the pan. 2 good cops, 1 wild night, trying to keep the whole world right. And the moon looked wrong. Too close. Hal said, that door. John said, oh no. Bad. Hal and John, 2 bad boys saving everyone. Hal and John, punch the sky till the aliens run. Hal and John, back to back till the job gets done. Hal and John, 2 buddy cops and the war ain't won. First contact at the donut shop. 1 little alien tried to blink and drop. Slit on the glaze, hit the floor too hard. John had the scanner and the lucky card. Hal said, hands up, that ain't your earth. Gray skin shook at the taste of dirt. Then the big ship cracked the clouds like a dead king coming for the crowd. Laser on the windshield, glass all sprung. Hal kept calm, John kept 1 lunge. Cover me, bro, I got you, fam. They rode that van like a battle ram, and the moon looked wrong. Too close. Hal said, lock that door. John said, oh, that. Hal and John, 2 bad boys saving everyone. Hal and John, punch the sky till the aliens run. Hal and John, back to back till the job gets done. Hal and John, 2 buddy cops and the war ain't won. Out in the rain by the county sign, Hal took a hit, still stood in line. John saw fear in 1,000 eyes, so we yelled at the ship, come take mine. Then the ship split wide with the crack of light, and the whole damn swarm lost sight. 1 pair of cops with the broken ride, still standing there side by side. Hal and John, 2 bad boys saving everyone. Hal and John, punch the sky till the aliens run. Hal and John, back to back till the job gets done. Hal and John, 2 buddy cops and the war ain't won.